Thanks for watching. So you bought a bathroom sink, or you're going to be doing some plumbing. Hopefully you can pick up some good tips and tricks on how to do this. I'm going to try to go over it as fast as I could for you guys so I don't waste too much of your time. And I'm going to go over all the basics and hopefully throw some stuff in there that'll help you guys out. Alright, plumbing could be a little bit tricky. It'd be nice if you were doing your plumbing and you had the hardware store right next to you, because you don't want to keep running back and forth looking for elbows and turns and stuff like that. Make sure that your plumbing, the number one thing is you have a trap. That trap, what that does is water sits there so the bad smell from the pipe doesn't come back up into your bathroom or wherever you may have it. So make sure that you're putting a trap, and that's the number one thing. And that's what that little elbow. A lot of you people who just want to know what goes where and what goes next on how to assemble these. Every sink may be different, or faucet. But this one, hopefully yours is very similar. I'm gonna try to go over this. You got two little holes there, round rings. Obviously the little rubber round ring goes here. These two pipes, one marked for blue, one's for red, being hot and cold. And when you put these in, you're gonna put them in, as you see, hot is on the left, so it goes red to the left, and screw that one in. You don't have to over tighten it. Once these washers get in there, it'll do the job. So use like a needle nose pliers or something to turn this to get it up in there. Once you have both of those all assembled in there, then what goes next, the rubber washer goes here. You see that little metal line is pretty much helping you out. Yours might not have that, but so I can screw this in here from the underside of the faucet, but I would slide this up around here. Jump over to the pop-up drain assembly. This one has overflow. What is overflow? If your sink doesn't have a breathable section in between your sink for overflow, when it goes over, it will drain out into that. That's what this is. It actually works as if like somebody left the water on and clogged the sink, then the water would go up into your overflow. This is what mine is. It's a little bit different. Yours might have it on this side of the sink where there's a little hole. That's overflow. So if you don't have overflow, make sure not to buy a pop-up drain assembly with a overflow hole. So I have overflow. Let's go with that. All right, so now I'm gonna let you guys look at this real quick. This is a sliding washer. What that does is allows for you, when you crank this up from underneath, for this to glide. If that's not in there, then it's hard for you to turn this and crank it up, being that rubber contacting plastic. But that's a very slippery plastic, that's what that is. This section here, a lot of people get a leaking sink, and the reason your sink is leaking is because just this is loose. There's two gaskets inside of here. I'll try to go over them. And they're curved at a certain way. Oop, just dropped one of them. Anyways, so that goes around this little ball, this thing right here. So what that does, you're gonna want this to slide on that ball so it can rotate and lock on real tight when you screw that on. If you got it on backwards, you'll know it because it's like sharp on this end. You want it to be nice and smooth and on that ball. You see that? I'm trying to show you guys. A lot for the beginners. All right. First thing you're gonna do is how this goes in, facing the ball end. So you're gonna do that. And I'm gonna slide this piece in here, like that. You're gonna slide this off. That goes on after. Then you're gonna find that piece that I dropped right here. Make sure that you put both gaskets on. So now it's around the ball and it slides like I showed you guys, like that. And you're gonna slide this over so that's installed correctly. Make sure that your gasket is nice and straight before you put it on. All right, so I got that on, and you'll feel it rotate and swivel real nice. All right, so that's on there correctly. Next over here, what do? Get some thread tape. Put the thread tape on there. Just go around a few times. You don't necessarily have to use thread tape, but you know what? Why not? It costs like 50 cents, and you're gonna guarantee yourself that there's not gonna be any leaks in the future. Just a couple times. I think I went around like 4 times right there, maybe. Peel this off. Next, you're gonna get your plumber's putty. What's plumber's putty? Costs about a couple bucks. Feels like Play-Doh. All right, everybody's done this when they were kids. Made a little worm. All right. Sometimes the things we do when we're kids we use as we're adults, but we don't even realize it. See, we were practicing for this day when you were gonna put plumber's putty on your sink. All right, where did it go? I'm looking for the piece. All right, flip this upside down. Put some plumber's putty around it. Nothing crazy, guys, but when you go to put your sink on, it's gonna squish it. I had one guy tell me, why do you make YouTube videos? Because you make money off the commercial when you play in the beginning, but you also help people out in the future when they want to learn something. So that answers your question for you people. All right, so next, you got everything assembled, ready to install on your sink. We're gonna move over to the sink. I've already got this one done, but we're gonna move to the Got my plumber's putty on my top ring for my, what was it called? Overflow? No, it was called a drain pop-up sink, sorry. And in this section here, I'm gonna slide it from underneath and I'm gonna place this one on top. If you guys want, you can put a little dish soap and water on here to help it glide and lock in better if you're having trouble getting that little hump right here up underneath it. I don't have an issue with mine, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that piece on there right there. I'm gonna slide up from underneath and I'm gonna twist. And if your sink is like mine, make sure that this piece here, you could see the tread on the inside, screws it in all the way. How do you do that? You lower the washer that you saw on the other side, lower it down. Alright, so we're screwing. I'm stuck a little. I'm gonna have to remove that one ring that I put on for you guys and showed you the order of it, so I can actually twist this thing all the way up. All right, so it's nice and tight right now. So now we're gonna turn that valve. Let me try to move my camera for you guys. All right, we're screwing this little gear on here. Trying to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. With this fancy sink that I bought on wayfair.com, it's a mounted sink. And it actually, it doesn't come with, what do you call that? Or I'm sorry, maybe it's the faucet. The faucets don't come with the piece, this thing right here, that cocks it up and down. There's no section for those, for this thing to be installed to go up and down so it can move that. So in order to clog our sink, we're gonna have to actually open up this door and cock it, like up and down. All right, so I'm getting this rubber gasket in there. Turning this so we can access it. Cranking this, I'm trying to get in there. I have to get in the way of the camera in order to crank this. It takes two hands, guys. Sorry to get in your way. Just do it hand tight. I wouldn't use a tool with this, because you'll end up cracking it. All right, we got that nice on there, nice and straight. Give it one more little crank. All right, show you guys what happened with the plumber's putty. Came oozing out. All you do, take your finger, wipe it. Now we won't have any issues with that leaking. All right, we're gonna insert our stopper. And what's happening when you put this in there, this has to go into this hole. Show you guys. And when you cock this up and down, this goes up and down from the outside. Okay, so I'm gonna put the stopper in from the inside, look in the hole and stick this in there. Make sure to get those washers in order. I got one in there right now. Here goes the next one. Put it in the correct way, you'll have nothing to worry about. All right, so now we're gonna slide that in, putting the stopper in from the top, and screwing this on nice and soft. Oh, I don't got the stopper in yet. Let's see, got the stopper in there. Screwing it on. You don't have to do crazy tight or anything. Just a little bit. Always check for leaks though. You can use plumber's putty on that if you, I'm sorry, plumber's tape, thread lock tape. You can use that. See what's happening now when I cock this up and down. That's what's happening because, like I said, my faucet didn't come with a section for this to go into. Once you've got your faucet in place, I've got the rubber ring on the inside in between here. That's gonna keep it where it's gonna grip it when I go to tighten it. I'm going to slide this underneath it and screw it on from here, not from the bolt. Once I get this hand tight and as tight as I can get it, then I'm gonna screw this on, making it suck itself from this to this onto that, and this will hardly move. I'll probably put some caulk around this just to be safe. For those of you who've never caulked, what you do is you squirt the caulk down, get your finger wet with soap, dip it in it, and just wipe, and keep wiping until you got it pushed into all the cracks. Real simple, and just keep cleaning your hand and going over and over. That's how you caulk this. Caulking video in 10 seconds, just kidding. So I'm gonna slide up under here, and I'm looking for my hole. Where are you? It's actually hidden way under there, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you guys this. Oh, nope, that's not it. Where are you, hole? Oh, there it is right there. So I'm gonna slide this thing, wherever you are, right here, onto these two pipes. Remember the ones we saw? Slide it in there and screw it in. All right, I don't know if I can actually, I couldn't get my camera in there to show you guys, but maybe you could see just a little bit what's going on. One pipe at a time, because it won't fit two. A lot of them are made like that. And I'm gonna get up in there and screw it in. Alright, really difficult here and trying to move out of the way for you guys from the camera. Alright, can't get it with the camera or something. If I unscrew this piece, take off the washer, set that down, slide this through, where are you, camera? One at a time like we did. Ahead of time, it'll be a lot easier for me to install this because I could slide this from the top. Screw this piece on. Easier to get a better grip on it. So now I got this on already. Nice and tight. And now I'm gonna slide this through the hole coming down. And now all I have to do is go up under the sink and screw that up into here. I'm gonna have to wrap up this video because we are running out of space for YouTube to allow me to upload the video. So, shred tape on this. Make sure the hot goes with the hot, cold goes with the cold. Screw it together, don't over tighten. They have rubber gaskets inside. For the plumbing, just line up your stuff. Let me go to this one because I still need to go back to the hardware store for that one. Real simple. They make gaskets. When I did come to this section here, I actually had to buy a what is that called? It's called a reducer washer. It came in a 2-pack. What that means is that this piece that I went to go put on, this one here, it didn't slide on here. It didn't lock on. So what this is a reducer washer. It's a lot fatter than, let me put this one on next to you guys. See that? See how it slides off? This is a reducer washer where it's tighter, but uses the same nut. So when you do go to the hardware store, just some tips. Take your pieces with you, take a lot of pictures, and take whatever you can with you. That way the guy who's working there can help you guys get exactly what's needed so you don't make 5 trips to go back. I actually have to go back because mine didn't line up. And they make one that connects here, but actually twists and turns a little, so I can move over about a 1/2 inch with it. So it'll, like, I don't know how you explain it, like expands and retracts to get that 1/2 inch that's needed for the other side of the sink. So anyways, hope this video helped you out one way or another. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.